Welcome back, students. Today, in this class of English language, I am continuing your topic which I started yesterday, that was pronoun. I will discuss the important kinds of pronouns in detail today, and in the assignment section there are 2 exercises given on what I have taught you today, and also in the writing section there is a letter. You will see a letter there. That is an informal letter. You have to write a letter to me, to your class teacher, in telling me about how you helped a family, a deprived family. Deprived family means the family which has no means of livelihood. That means they are short of money, they are short of basic necessities of life. So you have to write a letter to me telling me that how you helped that family in the time of this pandemic crisis. That means in this time, at this hour, how you helped that family. All right, so get ready for the class. Here we start. Students, today in this class I am continuing with the topic of pronouns which I started yesterday. Yesterday I spoke about the definition of the pronoun, the kinds of pronouns, and I explained you all kinds of pronouns. Today I am giving you more details on some important pronouns, like I'll be speaking more about personal pronouns. Then I will explain you once again relative pronouns in detail. After that I'll talk about antecedent, what are antecedents, and then use of relative pronoun. I will be ending up today's class with the difference between reflexive and emphasizing pronoun, which is always a confusing for the students. So to start with, personal pronoun. Children, personal pronouns have 3 forms. Like first person is the person speaking, like I and we. These are the 2 pronouns which are used by the person speaking. Second person is the person spoken to whom I am speaking, to whom I am talking with, like you. You is the second person personal pronoun. Third person is the person whom we are talking about. This person may be present at the time of speaking or may not be present at the time of speaking. So, the person whom we are talking about, like he, she, it, or they are called third person. So, again, personal pronouns exist in 3 forms. First person, the person who is speaking, like I and we. Second person is the person to whom we are speaking. Third is the person whom we are talking about. The second important type of relative pronouns, the important types of relative pronouns are who, whose, whom, which, that, as. And what is the use of relative pronouns? As I told you yesterday, the relative pronouns are a special class of pronouns which act as a connector in a sentence as well. That means these pronouns connect noun to the rest part of the sentence, or you say they connect noun to a set of words in the sentence. Like I speak an example. The farmer who had no work immediately started plowing the field. Now listen to the example. The farmer who had no work immediately started plowing the field. Here, who is acting as a connector of the farmer, to the rest of the sentence. So, it is a relative pronoun because it is relating a noun to the rest of the sentence. Second example is, the girl narrated her story to an old lady whom she met on the way. I'm repeating, the girl narrated her story to an old lady whom she met on the way. Now here the relative pronoun whom is referring to an old lady and it is connecting to the rest part of the sentence. So whom is a relative pronoun. It is referring, whom is referring to an old lady and whom is connecting an old lady to the rest part of the sentence. I hope it is clear. Now the another kind of pronoun is which is used for animals and the things which have no life in them, like for objects and for animals, like the puppy which I gifted her on her birthday has become a mature dog. Which means used for animals and which is also used for the objects. The kite which I have caught yesterday is torn now. Now which is acting as a relative pronoun here. In first case, which is being used to relate a puppy to the rest of the sentence. In the second case, which is again relating another noun, that is a kite to the rest part of the sentence. I once again repeat both the examples with the use of which. The first example was the puppy which I presented her on her birthday or which I gifted her on her birthday has become a mature dog. The second sentence was the kite which I caught yesterday is torn now. Okay. That is used for person and things both. Alright. That is used for person and things both. Children, now let me talk about what is antecedent. Antecedent is the noun for which the pronoun stands. Like these are the nouns for which a pronoun stands. Now see, it will become more clear with the example on your screen. The boys who were punished felt guilty. The boys who were punished felt guilty. Now in this sentence, who is what? Who is joining the boys to the rest of the sentence? So who is the relative pronoun? And the noun is the boys over here. Am I right? Or you say boys over here. So boys is antecedent of the relative pronoun who in this sentence. The noun for which pronoun stands is called antecedent. See the second example. Meena is a good girl. She is the favorite of all teachers. Meena is a noun. And what is the antecedent for Meena? What pronoun? She. She is the pronoun and the antecedent of she is the noun Meena. So Meena is what? Meena is antecedent. I hope antecedent is clear to you now. Antecedent is that noun for which relative pronoun or the pronoun stands. The position of the relative pronoun. Let us discuss where to position a relative pronoun. A relative pronoun should be placed as near as possible to noun or the pronoun it refers to. Otherwise, the sentence might look absurd. What does it mean? It means that a relative pronoun should be placed as near as possible to the noun or the pronoun it refers to. Otherwise, the arrangement of the sentence will look weird. Now see the example. The manager warned the lazy clerk, who was very strict. The manager warned the lazy clerk who was very strict. Now when I read this sentence or when I read this sentence, I get a clue that clerk was very strict. Whereas in fact, the manager was very strict. So because of the placement of who, because of the position of who, the sentence is not very clear. It's not that clear. It should be. Now see again the use of the who in the second sentence. The manager who was very strict warned the lazy clerk. The manager, who was very strict, warned the lazy clerk. Now here, who is a relative pronoun, and it is referring to whom? It is referring to the manager. So the manager is an antecedent, and it is just placed after the noun as we discussed above. Children, now I talk about reflexive and emphasizing pronouns. These are very controversial and confusing pronouns, as they are very similar in look wise. They look very similar because these pronouns end in self. It means that they have a suffix, they have self at the back, and they are the same words which can be used as reflexive pronouns also, and they can be used as emphasizing pronouns also. Reflexive pronoun is a receiver of action. That means after an action you will find a reflexive pronoun. That means reflexive pronoun means a pronoun which has self in it. And another thing which you have to see is that it also acts as an object to the subject or in the sentence. Now see the sentence, he cooked himself when he was alone. He cooked himself when he was alone. After cooked, we can see a pronoun himself, so it is a reflexive pronoun because it is also acting as an object to the sentence. Similarly, the second sentence is he himself cooked the meal. Now in this sentence, a greater stress is laid on he. He himself cooked the meal. That means no one else had cooked the meal. It is he only who has cooked the meal. So when there is a greater stress, and soon after the subject, when we see the pronoun with self in it, here it is used as an emphasizing pronoun. Alright, so to make it more clear, once again I am repeating, in a reflexive pronoun, a pronoun will receive an action. At the same time, it will act as an object to the subject, and in emphasizing sense, it will soon come after subject, and subject could be noun and pronoun both, and also it will lay more stress on the subject. Alright, so here we end the detailed study of pronouns. In the assignment section, you will see some exercises. Do it timely. Complete your work in time in your new notebooks. See you tomorrow in the next class.